टू नील मने घुटने के बल झुकना, KNEEL. We normally kneel down in front of God. We normally kneel down while in prayers. The Muslims kneel down during namaz. So spelling क्या है? KNEEL. To forbid मतलब मना करना. It is a forbidden fruit. फॉरबिडन फ्रूट मतलब ऐसा फल जिसे खाने से मना किया गया था। एक कहानी आपने सुनी होगी आदम और ईव की, एडम एंड ईव। उसमें फॉरबिडन फ्रूट की बात आती है। इट्स ए माइथोलॉजिकल स्टोरी, आप कहीं और उसको पढ़िए और बहुत बढ़िया कहानी है। उसमें आता है फॉरबिडन। दिस इज़ ए फॉरबिडन प्लेस, मतलब यहाँ जाना मना है, इस जगह पर जाना मना है। दिस इज ए फॉरबिडन प्लेस फॉर स्टूडेंट्स। स्टाफ रूम के आसपास बच्चों के लिए जाना मना रहता है, बिकॉज दैट प्लेस इज फॉरबिडन फॉर स्टूडेंट्स। क्योंकि स्टाफ रूम में बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती रहती हैं, बहुत सारे काम होते रहते हैं, इसलिए व्यर्थ में लोगों का आना जाना ना हो, डिस्ट्रैक्शन ना हो। तो इट्स ए फॉरबिडन प्लेस। नेक्स्ट, ओपिनियन आप जानते हैं। अगला शब्द है एट होम। एट होम मतलब क्या? कंफर्टेबल। आई एम एट होम विथ यू इन योर कंपनी। आई एम एट होम इन योर कंपनी। प्लीज फील एट होम व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग विथ मी। जब आप मेरे साथ बैठ रहे हैं तो कृपया आराम से बैठें, तसल्ली से बैठें। टेक इट ईजी, अकड़ के जकड़ के बैठने की जरूरत नहीं है। सो एट होम, यहाँ पे होम का अर्थ घर से नहीं है, आराम से है। एट होम जहाँ आता है इसका मतलब आराम से। नेक्स्ट, टू चीयर मतलब जोर जोर से हल्ला करना, तालियां बजाना, उत्साहित करना लोगों को, खिलाड़ियों के लिए। वी चीयर फॉर प्लेयर्स, CHEER। टू चीयर मतलब उत्साहित करने के लिए आवाज करना जोर जोर से। एंड टू जीयर मतलब हतोत्साहित करने के लिए, मजाक उड़ाने के लिए भीड़ के द्वारा जो आवाज की जाती है उसे कहते हैं जीयरिंग साउंड और चीयरिंग साउंड। तो जीयर एंड चीयर। टू ग्रीट मतलब वेलकम करना। आई वॉज ग्रीटेड बाय ए फ्लावर, ए बुके। When I went to that school, I was greeted by a bouquet. जब मैं उस स्कूल में गया तो मेरा स्वागत एक बुके से हुआ। I was welcomed with a bouquet और I was greeted by a bouquet. बुके की स्पेलिंग भी यहाँ देख लें, बड़ी स्पष्ट है, BOUQUET, बुके। दम्ब मतलब गूंगा, और डम्ब का देखिए उपयोग, वाई आर यू सिटिंग डम, तुम चुपचाप क्यों बैठे हो। स्पीक समथिंग, वाई आर यू सिटिंग डम। से समथिंग, कुछ बोलो। एब्रप्टली मतलब अचानक। माई कार स्टॉप्ड एब्रप्टली, मेरी कार अचानक रुक गई। माई स्कूटर स्टॉप्ड एब्रप्टली, मेरा स्कूटर अचानक रुक गया। आई फेल डाउन एब्रप्टली, मैं अचानक गिर गया। सो एब्रप्टली मतलब सडनली, इन द मिडल, अचानक। फनीली, विचित्र ढंग से। ही सेड समथिंग फनीली, उसने ये बात कुछ विचित्र तरीके से कही। ही सेड समथिंग फनीली, उसने यह बात विचित्र तरीके से कही। He always talks funnily, वह हमेशा बड़े विचित्र तरीके से बात करता है। Funnily. To toss मतलब किसी को उछालना। He tossed the ball up in the air. He threw the ball मतलब क्या होगा? बॉल को फेंकना, बॉल को फेंकना। और ऐसा उछालना को क्या बोलेंगे? टॉस। ही टॉस द बॉल अप इन द एयर। और इसीलिए क्रिकेट में मैंने आपको बताया जैसे टॉस होता है, टॉसिंग। टू नेक्स्ट इज ए लॉट ऑफ, a lot of, many. A lot of people came to my house. A lot of people gathered in the garden. To gather मतलब इकट्ठा होना. A lot of people gathered in my house. A lot of मतलब many. तीनों शब्दों को मिलाकर एक शब्द many. A lot of मतलब many. Distraction ध्यान भंग करने वाला. टू डिबेट मतलब क्या? टू डिबेट मतलब बहस करना. टू डिबेट मतलब बहस करना. शॉर्ट माने प्रकार. प्रकार का क्या अर्थ है? शॉर्ट एक तो मीनिंग होता है देर आर मैनी सॉर्ट ऑफ पीपल हियर, बहुत प्रकार के लोग हैं यहाँ. तो शॉर्ट मतलब प्रकार. देर आर मैनी सॉर्ट ऑफ पीपल हियर. इट इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ लव स्टोरी. ये एक प्रकार से प्रेम की कहानी है. इट इज़ ए सॉर्ट ऑफ लव स्टोरी. ए सॉर्ट ऑफ नॉर्मली होता है ए सॉर्ट ऑफ. जैसे अभी हमने पढ़ा इसके पहले एक शब्द, तीन शब्दों को मिलाकर ए लॉट ऑफ. ऐसे यहाँ पे ए सॉर्ट ऑफ मतलब मैनी. टू ग्रिमेस मतलब चेहरा बनाना. वैसा जो चेहरा कर लेते हैं, भाव भंगिमा बदल देना, चेहरा बनाना. चेहरा क्यों बना रहे हो? वाई आर यू ग्रिमेसिंग? वाई आर यू मेकिंग फेस? वाई आर यू मेकिंग फेस डिस्टॉर्टेड? तुम अपने चेहरे को विकृत क्यों कर रहे हो? मुंह क्यों बना रहे हो? तो मुंह क्यों बना रहे हो के लिए अंग्रेजी में है डोंट ग्रिमेस. वाई आर यू ग्रिमेसिंग? सिमिलरली मटर्ड. यू रिमेंबर बुदबुदाना. Old people are in the habit of muttering something which is inaudible. Inaudible मतलब ना सुनाई देना. Audible मतलब सुनाई देता है. It is not audible. Please make the speaker loud because everything is inaudible right now. अभी सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है. Make it audible by raising the volume. Old people generally mutter. Right? The next is the wild. As I said, wild मतलब जंगली, and wild also means baseless. आधारहीन, ऊंट पटांग. You are making a wild story यार. तुम आधारभूत, तुम ऊंट पटांग कहानी बना रहे हो, मन गढ़ंत कहानी बना रहे हो, आधारहीन कहानी बना रहे हो. सो यू आर मेकिंग ए वाइल्ड स्टोरी. यू आर टेलिंग अस ए वाइल्ड स्टोरी जिसका कोई सिर पैर ना हो. और एक मीनिंग होता है जंगली. द लास्ट वर्ड दैट यू हैव इज हियर लोड ऑफ. लोड ऑफ बुक्स. आई ब्रॉट ए लोड ऑफ बुक्स टू माई हाउस मतलब लॉट ऑफ बुक्स. I brought a load of books to my house means I brought a lot of books to my house. So with this, your difficult word stage comes to an end. And then we'll now move to the question answer related to this story, related to this chapter. So we have a series of questions from this chapter. And why so? Just because there has to be certain questions which are short and some which are long. Most of the questions are short in nature. That is because there is conversation. The story moves mostly with conversation. बातचीत के साथ साथ कहानी आगे बढ़ती है, तो वो बातचीत को आपको समझना है, किसने कहा है ये समझना है, और उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए ये क्वेश्चंस हैं. So let's move with the first question. Where was it most likely that the two girls would find work after school? ऐसी क्या संभावना थी, कहाँ संभावना थी कि स्कूल के बाद ये दो लड़कियों को काम मिलेगा? ऐसे कौन से स्थान थे जहाँ वो काम कर सकती थी? You remember in the very first paragraph, Jency says something, and Jency feels that both of us are likely to go to the biscuit factory, maybe because of traditional family work. And so the biscuit factory is the answer. Now you write complete sentences. Don't just write biscuit factory. So unless and until in English you write complete sentences, you won't learn proper communication skill or language. Next question is, what were the options that Sophie was dreaming of? Options मतलब choice. ऐसे कौन से विकल्प थे जो सोफी कल्पना कर रही थी? Why does Jency discourage her from having such dreams? So it's a question with having two sub-questions. In the first part, you have to write down the options. And the options were that she had was, one was opening a boutique, and second was herself being film actress. But why was Jency against it? She discouraged her. To discourage matlab हतोत्साहित करना. Why did Jency discourage her? Because of the money factor. Because of the money factor. She said कि all these plans look nothing but imaginary. उसने जेंसी ने सोफी को समझाया कि ये सब कल्पना की उड़ान कर रहे हो. इट नीड्स लॉट ऑफ मनी एंड प्लस मैनी अदर थिंग्स. केवल पैसा होने से ही मैं एक्ट्रेस नहीं बन जाती. देन आई नीड टू हैव टैलेंट ऑल्सो, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल ऑल्सो, एंड सो. थर्ड क्वेश्चन, व्हाई डिड सोफी रिगल? Why did Sophie wriggle when Geoff told her father that she had met Danny Casey? क्यों वो थोड़ा सा छटपटाई? क्यों उसकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज में थोड़ा सा छटपटाहट दिखी जब जॉफ ने सोफी के फादर को या अपने फादर को ये बताया कि सोफी डैनी कैसी से मिली है? You have to answer, and the answer will be somewhere that she got frightened. घबरा गई. She got frightened. वह थोड़ी घबरा गई. And because she got frightened, she felt that father will get angry. Father will rebuke her. He will get annoyed. वो डर गई थी. Question number 4. Does Geoff believe what Sophie told about her meeting with Danny Casey? Now here is the question 3. Does Geoff believe? So the answer has to start with the word Geoff did not believe or Geoff believed. So what's your answer? Does Geoff believe what Sophie said about her meeting with Cassie? And obviously, you know for sure that Geoff did not believe. And then you have to mention why he did not believe. What was the purpose? What was the way that he adopted to explain that he did not believe her? Question number 5. Does her father believe the story? क्या सोफी के पिताजी ने कहानी पे विश्वास किया? You remember when Geoff told her father or his own father, what was father's reaction? That reaction you have to describe in your own word. This questioning or the questions which are put across to you here are in sequence so that you also move along with the story by answering these questions. So the next question was, does her father believe her story? क्या उसकी कहानी पर पिताजी ने विश्वास किया? देखा जाए तो उसकी कहानी पर तो किसी ने भी विश्वास नहीं किया और पिताजी ने तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं किया. So your answer has to be in the negative. You have to write in English that No, her father did not believe in the story, and rather he said something. What did he say? That you need to write. The next question, how does Sophie include her brother Geoff in her fantasy for future? In her fantasy for future, how did she include? कैसे उसने अपने भविष्य की कल्पना में अपने भाई जॉफ को जोड़ लिया? You remember what did she feel? She dreamt of Geoff riding a motorcycle, wearing a jacket, and then imagining that she'll be sitting at the back and he'll be riding the motorbike. Through that, he felt Geoff to be included in the story. और साथ ही साथ she also includes her brother in the sense that she tells the story to her brother. She tells the story to her brother that she met in Roy's shop a famous footballer called Danny Casey, and that he asked him something. In response, she replied that, well, I want autograph. Then what did Cassie say? If you care to meet me next week, I will give the autograph. ये सारी बातें, all these things, Sophie told Geoff, and by doing so, she included Geoff in that story background. The next question. Which country did Danny Casey play for? Very simple question. Which country did Danny Casey play for? किस country के लिए खेलता था? He played for Ireland. And he played also for United clubs and all that. Question number 8. Why didn't Sophie want Jenny to know about her story with Danny? सोफी क्यों नहीं चाहती थी कि जेनी को वो बात मालूम पड़े जो उसने कैसी के बारे में जॉफ को बताया था? What is the answer? The word is gawky. You remember? She used somewhere that because he felt that she was gawky. और गॉकी का मतलब क्या होता है? फूहड़. तो ऐसा वर्ड लेके आपको इसका आंसर बनाना है, where you have to describe that yes, she was not the kind who would keep things to herself. She would tell it to everyone. And then she feared that once it is told to people in the neighborhood, the people in the neighborhood will all gather around her house, will ask her father, what is all this story going about? Being spread by Sophie. Father will get angry and mother will get all the more angry. That is what is the answer to this question. Next. Sophie and Jenny were classmates and also friends. What was the difference between these that show up in the story? Now, this question makes it necessary that we have understood the character, understanding the character. So the question is कि सोफी और जेंसी मित्र थे, सहपाठी थे, उन दोनों के व्यवहार में इस कहानी में क्या अंतर है? So you have to answer. Number 1, Sophie lives in the world of dreams. Fantasizing. Fantasy means kalpana. She lives in the world of dreams. Make-believe world. Thinks big things, which is beyond approach, which is not possible. On the other hand, Jency is very practical. She is down to earth. Very realistic. Another difference, Jency was somewhat very ambitious. Sophie was very, very ambitious. बहुत ज़्यादा उसकी बड़ी इच्छाएं थीं. Jency was very practical. Jency was very down to earth, very practical. The third difference, Sophie was very kind of talkative, very chirpy. CHIRPY, chirpy, talkative. On the other hand, Jency was a quiet kind of girl. Jency was a quiet kind of girl. Number 4. Sophie and Jency both came from middle class. Sophie was not bothered about this background. She felt money comes easily. She will have enough money to start a boutique and to be actress and so on, so forth. Both are very, very costly affair. On the other hand, Jency, she also came from middle class, but she was, very sensible. She was very sensible, so sensible that she even asked Sophie, no shop will take you. She told Sophie, no shop will take you immediately for a job. How can you think that you will be suddenly made manager? That means you have to undergo proper stage. You have to be trained. You have to learn the art of running a shop. And so, in other words, Jency was very down to earth. Jency was very practical. Next question. Did Sophie really meet Danny Casey? What do you think? After having read the whole story, understood the whole story, what do you think? Did she really meet Danny Casey? Very short answer. Your understanding must say no. Then how this story is all about? The answer is no. Sophie was only dreaming. Sophie was only fantasizing. The correct word will be fantasizing. Sophie being a very young girl at tender age. Like any other children of her age, she was also fantasizing, imagining. Next question. Which was the only occasion when she saw Danny in person? Now, in person means what? Vyaktigat roop se. Which was the only occasion? Occasion mane mauka. When Sophie saw Danny in person. The answer is the football stadium, where, like a pilgrimage, the whole family would go to the stadium to watch football match, where Irish team will play, and as a part of Irish team, Danny Casey would be there. So, last Saturday, she saw Danny Casey in the stadium. That was the only time. That's the answer. Next question. How would you describe the character and temperament of Sophie's father? सोफी के पिताजी का व्यवहार और चरित्र, उनका मिजाज, इसके बारे में थोड़ा लिखो अपने शब्दों में. जो भी उसके पिताजी के बारे में आपने पढ़ा, उसको आपको संक्षिप्त में लिखना है कि कैसे थे पिताजी. द आंसर इज, हिज फादर वॉज केयर फ्री काइंड. चिंता नहीं करते थे. बट ए मैन ऑफ अथॉरिटी. लेकिन नियंत्रण था पूरे परिवार पर नियंत्रण था उनका. एवरीबडी वुड लुक टू हिम. डायरेक्ट उनके कुर्सी के पास जाके कुछ बोलता है। जॉफ उनको बताता है कि सोफ़ी क्या कह रही है, और पिताजी की प्रतिक्रिया पर भी प्रतिक्रिया होती है। सो द आंसर इज केयर फ्री मैन। केयर फ्री बिकॉज he was least bothered about, he was not worried kind of man. But authority. And he also loved truth. हार्ड वर्क, पसीने से सराबोर होके आए थे वो दिन भर के काम करने के बाद। एंड वेरी डीपली ए फैमिली मैन. He had to work very hard for keeping his family, alive, and he always wanted to keep his family members happy, and that's the reason why he would take all the children to the stadium. Even if he was not sound financially, but they would make sure that they all go to watch football match. And the fact that he also went to watch football match and he's screaming, he's shouting for Cassie, that shows that he was a football lover, a sports lover. At the same time, he also ensured that he finds time to take the family to the pilgrimage, that is the stadium. His carefree nature, you can notice from the fact that after Ireland winning the match by 2-0, and when the second goal was scored by Cassie, he went out to the pub to celebrate. खुशियाँ मनाने के लिए, जीत की खुशी मनाने के लिए वो pub गए, and he had beer and drinks. He didn't come back with the family as such. So he was a very carefree man also. He didn't approve. और साथ ही साथ जो सोफी की जो बातें थी उसको उन्होंने अप्रूव नहीं किया. You remember that sentence? He did not approve of wild stories of Sophie. And at the same time, he warned her of the trouble that may come tomorrow, that may come later. He warned her of the trouble that may come tomorrow, that you might face. And so we can say that his father was again a very practical person, a family man, loved his family, and at the same time he had tight control over the family members. He snubbed her. Snub karna matlab dhata batana. He snubbed Sophie for what all she was talking about. And warned also कि यदि ऐसा तुम और करोगे तो समस्या में पड़ जाओगे. And with all this, still he was a very true person, a rightful person.